What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Between the Cons. My name is Chris, and with me today, your co-hosts, the Wonder Twins.
Whoa!
What was that?
It came from some random song from 2002 that everybody on the church bus was singing on their way to Winter Extreme.
That's pretty much it.
That's basically it.
I have so many questions. First question. Why would you think that was a good intro?
It just makes you think. It just makes you question everything about stuff and life and marriage and work and
why I continue to do this podcast. And
basically,
absolutely.
Why we continue to host it.
Yeah. Why do I keep inviting you guys back? I don't.
Exactly.
I don't know.
know.
It's a wonderful meatloaf we make.
That's probably what it is. It's the brisket. You keep bringing the brisket.
That's we get all those fat clicks.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounded so weird.
Yes, we make people press that like button faster than
they smash that like button.
I'm just gonna let you guys finish.
I know they smash that comment. They comment that like.
They smash them 5 stars on iTunes. Yeah. Okay, we're done now.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm
okay,
sure.
good.
Sure. Yeah, we're done. We're done. I promise.
Yeah, that was fun, I guess.
They tweeted it on Instagram.
Oh, there it is. You're
so there we go.
Okay. Anyways, thanks to everyone who tuned in and stuck around through that. We are Between the Cons. We are your podcast, the podcast for life between Comic-Cons. We are going to be talking about all the things that we're excited about in 2018 here shortly. But before we do, shout outs to everybody that's hit us up on the internet this week. If you don't know that we're on the internet, find us on the internet at Between the Cons on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, leave a review on iTunes. That's a cool thing you can do. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, leave a review on iTunes. It's how we know you like us. Affirm us. No, but seriously, it helps in this big crazy algorithm.
It's basically your only true measure of value in your life at this point, really.
Yeah, it's my only true value of self-worth. I need you to review my podcast on the internet for me to feel alive.
I know. You know, you're just trying to take Logan Paul's space at the top of YouTube, which we're on YouTube, by the way.
We are on YouTube. We don't have a fancy link, so just search for it.
Exactly.
But if you are watching Logan Paul and you decide, hey, I'm going to pop over and watch Between the Cons, don't, because we don't want you here if you started that out by watching Logan Paul. You don't deserve to be our listener.
But it's every day, bro.
Excuse you?
But that's Jake Paul.
I know it's Jake Paul. I was just trying to make a family connection.
No Logan Paul or his family. They are not welcome here.
Okay. How about Aaron Paul?
I'll take Aaron Carter.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'll take Aaron Paul. I'll take Aaron Paul too, I guess. I mean, if I could have an episode where Aaron Paul and Aaron Carter were both guest starring at the same time, that would be most ideal. But yeah, I guess Aaron Paul will do. Just kidding. If Aaron Paul, if you're out there and you're listening, we would love to have you on the show.
Yes.
Just putting that out
grovel
there.
At his feet. Grovel.
Oh, I get it. You quoted Breaking Bad.
Oh, I totally did that. That was totally what I was going for. I totally didn't do that intentionally.
Was that accidental?
It was completely accidental.
Oh, nice. Well, I was going to be really confused that you guys had seen Breaking Bad, so I guess now I don't have to.
No, we have real meth here. We don't have to, watch stories about it.
That's fair. And Andalusia, Alabama, everybody. But anyways, let's get into Topic Thunder. Let's talk about what we're looking forward to in 2018. So, 2018, Marvel's got a lot going on. I feel like that's the easiest thing that we can talk about. When we had the OzCons a few weeks ago, or I guess it was like a month ago, with Mr. Naughty List, we talked about a bunch of movies coming out from Marvel. I feel like that's the easiest place to start. Avengers Infinity War, Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then on the other side, you've got Aquaman coming out next year as well, from DC, Warner Brothers DC. But guys, what do you think about those things? What are you excited about in that list?
I like it very much.
I like it a lot.
What are you excited about in that list? What tickles your fancy the mostest?
I mean, definitely Infinity War, I think, really is going to be an interesting thing with all the properties coming together, because I love the Infinity War trailer. And it so predominantly featured Black Panther as well. And so, I mean, but did you notice the one person missing from Infinity War trailer was Ant-Man?
He's off doing his own thing.
He's off doing his own thing. There's no need for him to be in there.
Well, I feel like it's a mixed marketing campaign where they're advertising Infinity War as this big deal. We've only seen Black Panther for Civil War, and even still, we didn't see a lot of him. We didn't really get to know his character super well. We just have a loose background. So I think it's a mixed marketing where here's the Infinity War trailer that you've been waiting for 10 years. Here is Black Panther. Also, he's got a movie coming out later this year, so go check that out too.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, I'm excited about that. Now, I'm also excited about, connected to Marvel, the fact that, Disney's getting all these Fox properties. And the question's going to be this coming year, what are they going to do with the movies that are Marvel, that are Fox, that are set for release this year? Which ones are going to get released?
Well, there's even speculation like, is Dark Phoenix going to get released?
Well, I think it's everything that they've started production on. I think they said that everything that has begun production will be released.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that even some of the Spider-Man villain spin-off movies that they're working on, Disney is planning on continuing to release those, just because of the amount of hype that's around them. But I think Dark Phoenix, New Mutants, Venom, I think those are all safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I am excited about those. I'm definitely excited to see what the future holds for the former Fox properties being back at Disney, therefore being back at Marvel Studios. But it's also harrowing, and we've talked about it on the show. It's scary that those properties are on their way back, especially because what it could do potentially. But Disney has said, specifically around Deadpool, that they are planning on maintaining the R rating. And they're even interested in exploring other R-rated titles, which I'm very happy about. I think that...
Which, I mean, Disney's been doing that for years. It's just not under the Disney brand. It's under Miramax or, you know...
but those movies all suck, though. like, let's be real. Those movies are terrible. Let me look up Miramax films. List of Miramax films. I cannot think of a single Miramax movie that I enjoyed. It did not like that. List of Miramax. I can't type. But I think that with these movies staying underneath. Oh man, Miramax actually has some really good movies. I take that.
Oh yeah, they have a lot. They're probably the least well known Disney property that you never heard of.
Well, I never like I've heard of Miramax for sure. I just didn't realize some of these movies were Miramax movies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like Good Will Hunting is a Miramax movie. The Thin Blue Line. Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought Tarantino's projects were.
Yeah. So there is some. The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Clerks was a Miramax title, which I'll let you have your own opinion about Clerks. Good, bad, or otherwise, it is a movie. Yeah, they have some really good movies.
So, I mean, like, you know, my thinking on is that the people who are kind of overblowing, like, that particular mature, quote-unquote, mature content going back to Disney don't realize that Disney's already been doing it for years, just not under Disney banner.
We won't see it under Miramax. We'll see it under Marvel. Because they're not going to say Marvel, all the Marvel characters are back at Marvel, and then... But this movie's going to come out under Miramax. Because that doesn't make any sense. Like, they're going to have... And I think that's the dilemma that everybody was fearing, is they're going to have to release it under the banner of Marvel Studios. Because we know better. You're not, like, pulling one over with it being under Miramax.
Well, and they're doing that right now with like the television properties, with Netflix in some respects. So somehow it's kind of a weird thing. The fans like just know that it's not going to be in the same universe necessarily. It could be, but somehow I think they're going to depend a lot on the marketing to make that distinction. And then two, the fans just knowing the distinction between a cinematic universe content-wise film versus an R-rated film. I think it's going to depend a lot on the fans just knowing, but it's going to be interesting to see how they actually market it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyways, there's a lot more.
I don't think we'll be having any Deadpool meet and greets in the parks. I don't think that's going to happen.
Man, I would so go to that, though.
I bet you would. A lot of people would.
I mean, one other thing that's coming out this year that I guess is noteworthy, Solo, a Star Wars movie, or Star Wars, whatever the tagline is. I guess
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yes, that one. Yes. So, I mean, we'll see how that turns out after the directorial change and everything of that nature. So, we will hope for the best on that one. Something else is that, you know, Disney Hollywood Studios in Orlando is doing a lot of park renovations, and this year we should see the opening of Toy Story Land, which should be a nice addition there if you've ever wanted to pretend like you're in Andy's backyard, in the sheer terrors of what that would be like. Then you can go and ride Slinky Dog Coaster or a bunch of different Toy Story odds and ends.
But how different is this going to be? Because I never got to do Honey, I Shrunk the Audience or any of those particular Hollywood Studios attractions. You know, literally, I wonder if they're going to pay any homage to Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, basically, through this attraction. Because, I mean, it's a similar concept. It's just Pixar. It's a lot more exciting, granted, but...
Well, I mean, I think it's more exciting based on the generation.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Woody and Buzz just pull more fans than Rick Moranis did.
What? And I don't understand why.
I don't know either. I don't know.
I mean, and then, you know, one other thing with all this Disney Pixar stuff is The Incredibles 2 coming out.
Yes.
The long-awaited sequel that should have already happened instead of 5 Cars universe movies.
Oh my gosh.
So, Incredibles 2, the little teaser trailer looks okay. I mean, from what you can tell from a teaser trailer, but certainly I hope it maintains the magic and the. Honestly, if you want to really think about it, like The Incredibles is like the first prototype of like the modern superhero movies, and like even like the special edition DVD, like the bonus features had so much depth and backstory to them that I really hope that maybe they'll get into somewhat in the Incredibles 2 and expand the universe a bit more. It's been long awaited, so
Brad Bird is what made that movie what it was, and I felt, even though it was very divisive, I liked his work in Tomorrowland, which was live action.
Right.
He's good at what he does. Pixar directors very rarely translate over into live action very well, with him being no exception in terms of Tomorrowland. Or you think about Andrew Stanton with John Carter on Mars. But when you stay with when you stay with, which was an okay movie on its own, but it was not, perfect by any
Watchable.
stretch.
that's what adjective to use.
Yes, I mean, when you've got one of the major forces behind the Iron Giant doing a superhero movie, then the sequel to the superhero movie, it's going to be really interesting. It's something to be excited about.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that, I mean, with Toy Story Land, with the Fox acquisition by Disney, Star Wars, all the Marvel stuff. I mean, there's plenty to look forward to from Disneyopoly. I mean, Toy Story Land is all great, but I don't even know if I'll ever see it. Just because it's so expensive.
Well, I mean, you
could go to Pixar Pier in Los Angeles. They are redoing California Adventure part of it.
And the reality is that you're going to have to go to Star Wars Land when it opens up.
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to.
That's
maybe.
true.
Yeah, you're gonna by proxy in some way get there. So,
in more ways than just in spirit.
I mean, basically, you and Michael Ann are going to delay having kids for 50 years just to pay for your trip to Star Wars Land.
Probably. That's feasible.
Yeah.
It'll take that long to pay it off, I'm sure. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, we'll buy everything.
You will. You will. What else are you looking forward to?
So I'm really excited about some Amazon things. Amazon has Good Omens coming out this year. The story of the angel and demon by Neil Gaiman and Terry Hatchett, I think. Terry Pratchett.
Terry Hatchett. Oh, so you want that New Adventures of Superman remake?
Oh no.
That's Terry Hatcher. Sorry.
No, God, no. Terry Pratchett. Officially Terry Pratchett. That's coming out. David Tennant's in it. It's gonna be swell.
Did he play one of them time doctors?
He did play one of them time doctors. Yep. They also have Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan coming out, starring John Krasinski. John Krasinski, for those of you who somehow don't know, was Jim on The Office, and you can put that handsome man in anything, and I will watch it.
He probably will watch it. We can testify to this statement.
I watched a very terrible movie about early football with him and George Clooney called Leatherheads, just because he was in it. And it was very, very bad. They also have, and I just found this out before we started recording tonight, they have a show coming out based on The Boys, and I feel like I've talked about it on the show, but I had completely forgotten about it if I had. But The Boys is a very fun, very vulgar very original story of like a superhero world where the government enlists like groups of people. This particular is called they're called the Boys. But it's the butcher, the milkman. The guy's name starts with a W. He looks like Simon Pegg. I can't remember. But it's basically they get this superhero serum and they have superhero powers. And their job is to keep superheroes in line. So rough them up, kill them if needed. Pretty much just be like the strong arm of the government to make sure that the superheroes don't get out of line.
Oh, wow.
But it's a really cool story. I really enjoy the comics, despite the fact that they are a bit much sometimes. And when I say a bit, I mean it very lightly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really excited about this show. With it being on Amazon, it makes me a little nervous because they can certainly go full on into the story and capture everything as it's captured in the comic, which would probably be a little bit much for me personally. But I would really enjoy seeing what they did with it. So I think either way, I'll at least watch the pilot.
Well, I mean, there's such a balance between, and I wish that more people kind of felt like you do about it, because there's such a balance between totally hedonistic viewing and content that's more of an artistic or has a purpose behind it. Like, yeah. Anyway, I mean, you know the top content we like, and it's definitely the opposite of anything like Deadpool or anything like this. I mean, so but there's such a balance between it, and I mean, Hollywood, like for too long, has kind of fallen so far into the more hedonistic realm of things until there has to be a balance. Like there has to be some type of balance.
And I think with this story specifically, The Boys, with it being kind of a superheroes are celebrities story, you have superheroes that are like snorting coke off of a stripper's butt kind of thing. And
oh wow.
I mean not literally, but like that kind of like party mentality that we see a lot, or we hear about a lot in celebrities, and it's kind of the same thing, but these people are also role models. So there's got to be someone in place to keep the role models acting like a role model, and to do that, they beat the crap out of people. So it's a very flamboyant, over the top comic about like kind of teaching a lesson of like our role models should be role models, not people that are role models in the spotlight.
But
it is a bit much. It's over the top. So I'll watch as much as I can, and I'm excited to watch it. I'm also really excited for Jessica Jones season 2 coming out on Netflix. I'm not excited about, but I will wind up watching Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom. Because it's Jurassic Park.
That trailer was very divisive.
How do you feel about them actually showing the T-Rex in the trailer? Because it seems to break every notion of the previous movies.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the big bad.
No, I don't think it is
because that's their shtick, is they show you something crazy in the trailer and then something crazier happens in the movie. That's how it goes with Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I'm going to see that. I'm not excited about it, but I do like Chris Pratt and I do like dinosaurs, so it'll work out. The Robin Hood movie with Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx, I am so pumped about that movie. I cannot wait for that movie to come out. Taron Egerton, since his debut in front of my eyes in Kingsman the Secret Service. I have loved him. I think he's fantastic. I think he's fun to watch. He's a good actor. He is funny. He has some dramatic chops. They could certainly be better, but he's got some. And I really like the idea of where they're taking the Robin Hood movie to be unlike the same Robin Hood story that we've seen over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the big things. What else are you guys excited about?
I mean, I'm really excited about. I guess the Switch. It's going to be weird because so much came out for
The
the
Switch
Nintendo
came out
Switch.
last year.
It did.
How are you excited about the Switch?
Well, I'm
if you
excited
already
about
have
it because what could happen in 2018 with it. Like, we've not really had any major game announcements, but I'm speculating there's supposed to be a Nintendo Direct in January. Oh yeah, it needs to be GoldenEye. Totally. I am anticipating Virtual Console, so I would not be shocked if GoldenEye somehow made its way onto a Virtual Console by some miracle if Microsoft allowed it through Rare's, licensing. But Smash Brothers or a new Samus title, Metroid title for Switch would be so welcome.
I can see both of those happening.
And some people are also speculating GameCube games finally coming to Switch.
Oh, like backwards compatibility kind of thing?
Yeah, so in Virtual Console, so literally you think about any really good. I think there's so many good GameCube titles. Like the original Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine. I think one or two of the
Mario Sunshine.
I know nobody's
man.
Not everybody's favorite. Definitely not one of mine. But I think some of the Resident Evil titles.
Yeah.
A couple RPGs that are really popular. It's definitely a hidden treasure. Some of those titles that haven't been seen in over a decade, really.
Eternal Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I would play Eternal Darkness again.
Literally, honestly, some of those games that haven't been seen, if GameCube, if they managed to make the GameCube emulation just right for the Switch, seeing those on there, really excited to see how that's going to turn out. I'm wondering about Pacific Rim, because I really like Pacific Rim, the original. Pacific Rim Uprising, I hope it's not too, too modern.
Bad.
Yeah, because the original I liked, because it had heart, and it kind of a really good story. And
it wasn't too much like Transformers?
Right, exactly. Whereas this one, I'm wondering, the trailers kind of got me scared a little bit. So that's going to be a good question if it has the same teamwork aspect, because Pacific Rim was all about the heart behind it was finding somebody to work this robot alongside you. And it was even more about the people inside the robots than it was the actual robots.
The new one feels real Power Rangers-y.
It does, and too much like a Transformers movie. So I'm hoping it's not going to turn out that way. I'm kind of excited about Ready Player One. I've not read the book. I don't know. Has anybody on the podcast read the book that you know, Chris?
No, I've read the book. It's fantastic. I am so excited for Ready Player One.
Gosh,
I cannot wait for that movie to come out. I think Kyle actually might be reading it right now too. Because when we went and saw The Last Jedi, the trailer came on for Ready Player One, and he was like, "Is that any good? Is that book any good?" And I laughed in his face.
Which is a wise thing to do when faced with a ginger giant.
Yeah. Well, mainly I was more proud that I've read a book that Kyle hasn't.
Oh yeah, he loves books.
That wasn't a comic book, because I've read a lot more of those than him.
Yeah,
but like a word book.
Oh yeah.
You remember word books?
Oh yeah. Those that don't have pictures, the boring ones.
Yeah, the boring ones. I've read a word book that Kyle has not read.
I know, that's shocking.
So I feel pretty good about it.
Well, you should, honestly. I mean, like, I will say this. The Ready Player One, the first trailer was awful. Like, the first half of the trailer was great, and the second half was one of the worst things I've ever seen in a trailer.
It was busy, and there was no context.
Exactly.
So, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, the second trailer was a lot better. It made me want to see it.
Yeah. Because it gives you, it shows you the Oasis. And it explains the Oasis. So you're not just like, wait, why is the Iron Giant in this movie? What?
Oh yeah, yeah. Why are they racing cars with no context?
Right. Yeah. I get that. That makes sense.
So I mean, I'm really glad you read it, and honestly, y'all may once Kyle finishes it would be really good discussion for you guys to have before it to kind of see. However, y'all are probably going to both be on the round table for it if you both read it.
I think Chris too has read it also.
Cool.
I can't remember. I think he and I talked about it in passing one time. But he might have read it. Either way, if you haven't read it, you should, because it's nice.
What do you think about? How do you think Wrinkle in Time is going to be?
Bad, so bad.
I'm really concerned about the casting on it. Like, it's too A-list. Like, the casting is too. It's
too Hallmark movie.
It's rough looking. Like, my favorite part of the trailer was the title screen itself, where it's like the time clicking like into place with the title. That was the only part of the trailer I liked. It's gonna be the casting doesn't match up with the theme of it.
No,
like Zach Galifianakis and Oprah and Mindy Kaling and. The casting doesn't match the rest of the film, and that's a concern. You can't make somebody something they're not just by putting them in a Disney movie. That's always bothered me. It even bothers me with Paul Rudd's casting Ant-Man, and I know that's a cardinal thing I should never say, but it did. He does
such a good job at
it. Oh gosh, I don't know. It's one of the few exceptions to the rule, I guess you could say, but it just. I don't know. So I'm really concerned about that. So I wish I could say I was looking forward to it, but I'm not.
I'm not either. I am wincing painfully and slowly.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't trust it.
I know. I mean, those are the major things I'm really looking forward to. Honestly, there's nothing on television that I can think of that I'm super looking forward to. I mean, because, in your case, like Amazon and Netflix has become television for you. I mean, and there's nothing I can think of on TV in 2018 that I'm just like, yes, I gotta watch more of that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's something. My thing is there's just so much content to be excited about all the time. And to think, like, what is new to be excited about is it's like crazy to even wrap your head around. Like the final season of Game of Thrones, that's next year. There's a show called The Alienist that I'm actually excited about. It's set in late 1800s New York. And it's a crime show.
Oh wow!
So it's not really sci-fi, but it looks good. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much, and I'm sure like as we'll go, we'll be like, oh my gosh, why didn't we talk about this in the episode? Well, because we forgot. Because there's so much. There really is. There's a lot of content to talk about, and it's spread so widely now.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So, I'm sure there's something that I'm excited about that I'm missing.
And definitely not all the secrets of the industry have been revealed either. They're holding back stuff on us.
Yeah, like especially for mid, late, and late 2018. There's plenty that we still don't know. But I think it's easy to say these are just some of the things that we're excited about.
Yep. These are a few of your favorite things.
These are a few of my favorite things.
but I don't like it when the dog bites or when the bee stings or when I'm feeling sad. But I simply remember my favorite things.
Stings. I am super excited about America's Next Top Model season 24.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Debuting this year. Pretty pumped on that.
High on your list.
Yeah, that's pretty high on your list.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking 90 Day Fiancé, too. You're always pumped about that.
Black Lightning comes out this year, doesn't it?
I've not heard of this property.
Oh, man. Yes, you have.
Really?
Black Lightning does come out this year, January 16th. Oh, so it comes out in like a couple weeks. It's a DC comic. Coming to the CW.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the photo kind of looks like it's Jordan Peele, but it's not.
Okay.
But no, I mean, there's a ton that I'm excited about. There's a ton that I can't think of right now that I'm excited about, that I don't even know that I'm excited about right now.
Gosh. Well, I guess what we'll have to do is come July 1st, we're just going to have to do another episode saying what we're excited about for the rest of 2018.
Yeah, we'll just do one in June.
We'll do it. We'll get it taken care of.
Boom. But, I mean, let's wrap it up and talk about some jams.
What's your jam?
Well, Chris, in terms of jams recently, the major thing we've been jamming on is what have we been
tons
jamming
of
on?
Christmas desserts we got.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got tons of peanut butter balls and Divinity and Reptar bars from FYE and sponge candy.
I'm just going to say this really quick. Divinity is not a dessert. It is air.
It is air. It is air. Anything that requires a candy thermometer to get right is not a dessert.
If you bite
is
into it and can't find the thing that you just bit into in your mouth, it's not food.
No, you just made art. Really good tasting art.
You made tasty air art.
Exactly. So we've been trying to get through
all the desserts
all
we
of
have
those
from
desserts.
Yeah, that sounds
Christmas.
like torture. Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
life must be so hard for you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
It is so hard while we play Splatoon 2. Squishing all the squids with our
Did you really get the second one?
We
yeah,
did.
It's good stuff.
We did. Now it's basically like the first one, except this the second one.
Oh my
But
gosh.
we did get the second one for Switch, and it's been really good. The splat rollers are main. We roll over all the squiddos with that thing.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Well, just tell us your jam.
So I have two jams. My jams are The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is a show on Amazon Prime.
I thought it was your secret lover that Michael does not know about.
No, it's not. It's definitely not that.
Good deal.
No, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is a show on Amazon Prime. It's a fairly new show, so you're not too far behind. Rachel Brosnahan is the titular character, and it takes place in the 1950s when her life kind of falls apart in the first episode, and she decides to become a stand-up comic. And
wow.
It is so good. It's so funny. It is awkward. Like, it has its awkward moments that are like physically painful to watch. It is. It's great. I don't really know what else I can say. Without ruining it.
Well, I mean, does it seem based at all on like the lives of like Phyllis Diller and Joan Rivers? I mean, because they were very domestic comics.
I don't know them. I don't know enough about their early life.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have some historical clues to it. Like, it's got Lenny Bruce is in it. He's a recurring character, which is super cool. And the guy that plays him is like kind of looks like Lenny Bruce, but he's a more handsome Lenny Bruce. He doesn't have as much of the bug eyes as the real Lenny Bruce does. But it's a really good show. I really like it. We binged it last Saturday. Watched the whole thing in one sitting. It was really nice. It's got 8 episodes. Each episode's about an hour long, and you will not regret it. And that's pretty much what I got to say on that.
That's all you've got to say about that.
That's all I've got to say about that. And then my other jam is a board game that I recently bought for $5 that has turned out to be pretty fantastic. It's called Magic the Gathering Arena of the Planeswalkers. It doesn't have the greatest score on Board Game Geek, but it is super fun. If you're a fan of Magic the Gathering or Risk or both, it is definitely the game for you. It's a tabletop strategy domination game, I would say. Like a battle game. So basically you have a battle board, and it's like chess in that you start along one side and your goal is to move to the other side to get to the opponent and meet in the middle and battle. But you have spells like you do in Magic. You have a deck. You can summon creatures. Like all the creatures have special abilities. The Planeswalker, who like is essentially your king in chess. If your Planeswalker dies, then you lose. It's super fun. It's a super fun game. The Ginger Giant and I played it. I actually bought it earlier or not earlier, but I bought it at the beginning of December for $5 at a store in Sylacauga, Alabama. Sylacauga. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like Ollie's Bargain Bin or something like that. But it was $5, and it was a Magic the Gathering board game, so I bought it. I didn't know anything else about it, and I just bought it because it was $5. But we finally broke it out, Ginger Giant and I, and we had a blast. The rule book is huge, but it's really easy to understand, especially if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering.
Oh, yeah.
But those two are definitely my jam. And that's it for the show. That's everything. We made it all the way through. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around. Check us out online at betweenthecons.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at betweenthecons. Review us on iTunes, and make sure you subscribe to the show. New content every Thursday and Monday. And we're going to be back on Thursday with a Pineapple episode, giving you the latest and greatest nerdy news, so you don't want to miss out. You guys have a great week, and we will talk to you on Thursday.
God bless. Bye.
I feel a poo a brewing.